The Garry Moore Show. And here's Garry. With Garry's guests, Frank Fontaine. And special guest, Tony Martin. Burnett. And Marion Lord. All on the Garry Moore Show.
Hey, Garry, is this really you?
Certainly it's me.
In tails?
Well, I happen to be dressed for my final exam.
Final exam in what?
Sex appeal.
Sex appeal?
I have frankly felt for some time that my sex appeal needed a little working on, little polishing up by an expert. So I've been tutoring all week with Tony.
Oh.
Tony Martin, that is.
I see. And the tails are Tony Martin.
Yes, tonight I graduate. So Tony loaned me the tails, the hat, and the cane.
Too bad he couldn't lend you his voice.
You stand by while I try my new sex appeal on our girls?
Come on, Miss Lauren, this ought to be good.
Oh, it ought to be. It ought to be.
And I suggest all you gentlemen out there take notes. You just may learn something. How you like them apples?
You great big beautiful doll, let me put my arms about you. I could never live without you. Oh, you beautiful doll, you great big beautiful doll. If you ever leave me, how my heart would ache. I wanna hug you, but I fear you'd break. Oh, 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 you beautiful doll.
You beautiful doll, you great big beautiful doll. Oh, Garry, Garry, how you ring my bell. We never knew that you could sing so well.
Oh,
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 oh.
oh.
You beautiful doll!
In behalf of Oldsmobile quality dealers everywhere who now more than ever have a rocket for every pocket, presents the Garry Moore Show. And now, here's Garry.
much love to each of you from all of us. I want to thank Tony Martin for loaning me his voice. I hope I didn't put any creases in it. It is very nice to have you with us tonight, all of you out there, as well as those of you here in the studio audience. Just out of curiosity, how many of you folks here in our audience tonight are from out of town? Will you raise your hand? Oh, boy. Oh, I wish I owned the bus company. That's marvelous. Well, we do hope you're having a good time here in the big city. I know it can be kind of frantic if you've never been here before, particularly the traffic. In any other city in America, if you see a man in an automobile with his hand sticking out, that means he's going to turn a corner. In New York, he has his hand out. That's in case he misses you with the automobile, he can slap you in the face as he goes by. I remember when I first moved here, I had a little trouble understanding the natives. You know, I mean, in any other town that you go into, if you just happen accidentally to jostle into somebody and bump his elbow, you'd merely say, "Pardon me," you'd both smile, and that would be that. But if you happen to bump somebody's elbow in New York, they turn to you and they say, "Hey, wait, eh? Who, what, huh?" And for the first couple of weeks, I didn't know what they were saying. But I finally gotten so that now if I happen to bump an elbow, before they can say to me, "Hey, who ya, hi, why, who?" I turn to them and I say, "Yeah, how you, who ya, hey, how are you?" And we get along just fine. Now, I didn't know until, a couple of years ago that this strange New York language has been written down so that people could read it. But it has, as I discovered in a small volume called Almanac for New Yorkers. It's sort of a dictionary of New Yorkese. Now, for instance, when inquiring as to whether someone has had his dinner, this is what a New Yorker says. Jeet? Huh? Jeet? And if you urge a New Yorker to complain to the Revenue Department about his high taxes, he'll reply like this. What goes to do? What goes to do? Now, you may go to the Empire State Building to see the view from the observation roof. I hope you do. As you approach the elevators, the starter will say to you, "Up, you're going up." Up, you're going up. And obviously, he will also say, "Down, car, gone down." Down, car, gone down. Which is as good an example of logic as you will find. Also, there will be a sign in the elevator which you must obey. I don't think I have to translate that, do I? All the way back, face the gate. All the way back, face the gate. Now, if it's late in the evening, you might see some romantic young New Yorker standing in a doorway saying goodnight to his girl, and he's trying to coax her into a goodnight kiss. So he says to her romantically, "Sorry, say, babe." "Sorry, say, babe." And if she slams the door in his face, he will merely shrug his shoulders, then he will say, "That's the way it goes." That's the way it goes. And of course, on your way into this very theater tonight, you must have heard our head usher saying, "Don't block the door, plenty of seats in the balcony. Plenty of seats in the balcony." And to conclude our lesson, remember this. When people ask you what show you watch on Tuesday nights, you just say, "The Garry Show." Before I present our first guest, permit me a brief comment on the state of comedy today. You know, most of today's comedians belong to the school of performers who say funny things rather than do funny things. Unlike such great buffoons as, well, like, say, Red Skelton or Ed Wynn, who have an intrinsically funny quality of their own, which is the hallmark of the true clown. And it's in this rare category that we find our next guest, a very funny man, Mr. Frank Fontaine.
Thank you, Gary. Here's a cute little story about two fellas riding along in a motorcycle. Two fellas riding along in a motorcycle. One fellow said to the other fellow, "Hey, George, I'm freezing. I don't know what it is. The wind gets inside my shirt. It runs up and down the back of my neck, and I'm freezing." The other gentleman, being a college student, looked at him and said, "Oh, that's terrible. That's awful. I'll pull over the side of the road and tell you just what to do. Now take off your coat, turn it around, put it on backwards. Take off my coat, turn it around, put it on backwards. Take off your coat, turn it around, put it on backwards. Hop in the motorcycle, here we go. How do you feel? Feel all right, no breeze at all. They're going along the road, they happen to hit a bounce in the road, and they smacked right into a brick building. Pretty soon the ambulance came with the police cars. One of the officers stepped out of the police car, asked one of the bystanders, was it anything serious? One of the bystanders said, well, one fella's all right, but the other guy, when we tried to turn his head around. A couple of more days will be Columbus Day, the guy who kind of got us all together. And I'd like to have John L. C. Savoni tell the story of Christopher Columbus. Something like this. Once upon a time, in a far-off country, way over the land and the seas and the oceans, there was a country shaped like a boot. One afternoon, this guy would just hang around the house. He wasn't doing nothing. He didn't feel like doing nothing. Just hang around the house. He was hanging around. He wasn't doing nothing. His mother said to him, Christopher Columbus, what are you doing? He said, nothing. And he wasn't. He was just hanging around the house. He wasn't doing nothing. His mother said, why don't you go out and get yourself a job? Do something. You're always hanging around the house doing nothing. Get yourself a job, Fred. He said, I think I'll discover America. He had heard about a big building boom in Philadelphia. He went to all of his friends to borrow money. And you know how it is when you go to your friends. He kept saying to himself, I gotta discover America. I gotta discover America. That's all he worried about. I gotta discover America. He was up all night, slept all day. I gotta discover America. I gotta discover America. That's where we get the Knights of Columbus. He heard about Queen Isabella. She was a kind woman and fat. He went to her palace and saw a big iron gate, and he knocked on a big iron gate. It was a big iron gate, all iron, and he knocked. It was all iron. A little wood around the side, and the guy come out and said, who is it? Who is it? It says, me, Captain Christopher Columbus. I want to see Your Majesty, the Queen Isabella. He said, oh, yeah, she's busy. Who do you think was in there with the Queen? Yeah. Winston Churchill. After a while, he saw the Queen, and she gave him 3 ships. The Santa Maria, the Pinner, and the other one. And he set out to discover America. And the second mate said to the third mate, how far out is he going? And the second mate said, he's going way out, way out. And they were. They were going further and further than any ship had ever gone before. Further and further, 8, 9, 10, 11 months, 13 months. The second mate said to the third mate, you know where we are now. How far out is he going? He's going way out. And he worked 317, 18, 19 months. The guy up in the crow's nest says, Captain Christopher Columbus, I spot land, Indians hopping all over the place. He said, latch onto the forecastle, man the deck, and poop the first for down. That's sailor talk. They lowered the boat. Captain Christopher Columbus swam over to the shore, saw a big Indian there and with feathers, and he looked right at him. He said, me friend, me come from far off land, me friend. And the Indian looked at him and said, welcome to our shores. You talk English. We have our own TV show. Cut it out. They took out a flag and he stuck it in the ground. He says, I name this land America. It'll be the greatest country in the world. There'll be many more people coming over here. Yeah, lots more through the years. And they'll build homes and schools and churches. It'll be a great country, the greatest country in the world. It'll be America. Everybody will be free. And they'll be driving Oldsmobiles. America, get this to it. My name is John L. And my name is Frankie Fontaine.
Frankie Fontaine. Sometimes I like to just stand around and think about him, you know. He makes me laugh. Well, now, we talk an awful lot around here about wonderful years. Well, I have a strong feeling that this is going to be a pretty wonderful year, too, thanks to your loyalty and to the enthusiasm of our gang, and certainly to the support of our sponsors, including our great new sponsor, Oldsmobile. As you know, Olds is a different class of car than any we have ever represented. It's a car that you hear people talking about everywhere. Like, for instance, well, let's take these two men. They both own new cars, and they both like big cars with lots of room. But right now, old George here, that's George, he's doing all the talking. You see, with George, styling comes first, and it is first in his new Oldsmobile, this 98 Holiday Sports Sedan for 1962. Here's styling that's distinguished by a smart new roofline and a smart new silhouette that says to you, come on, let's go. Styling that gives you a feeling of pride behind the wheel. Styling that's tasteful and elegant inside, too. Styling keyed to the performance of the 330 horsepower Skyrocket engine. Yes, this is a very exciting Oldsmobile, this 98 Holiday Sports Sedan. And, of course, George could go on and on and on, but now you see Fred gets tired of this and he fights his way in. Now, with Fred, room comes first, and this is what he has to spare in his new Oldsmobile, the 98 Holiday Sedan for 1962. There's just more room all around. More room to enjoy the luxury and elegance that's crafted into every single 98. More room to just plain old settle back and relax. And ride free and easy on the road. Yes, there's really something to talk about, these two new 98s by Oldsmobile. The Holiday Sedan on the right, long on room. The Holiday Sports Sedan on the left, long on looks. Both of them great on go. Your Oldsmobile quality dealer invites you to inspect and drive a magnificent new 98 by Oldsmobile. I think you'll agree.
There's something extra about owning an Olds, a 62 Oldsmobile.
So you see what I mean when I say Oldsmobile is in a class by itself. Stop by your Oldsmobile dealers this week, won't you? It comes time now to bring out a guest star who, for some reason, is brand new to our show. I can't imagine why we've never had Tony Martin on before, but...
Garry.
Excuse me. Yes, Miss Lauren, dear, what is it?
Now, Tony, is Garry,
Tony Martin?
Tony Martin going to sing now?
Yes! Going to sing right now.
Oh, right here?
Just right about where I'm standing.
Oh, my God. Just put it over there, will you? Oh, dear. Well, I want to get a good seat. I've been waiting 4 years for him to be on this show. Well, bring him on.
Well, Marion, dear, this is all fine, mind you, but I'm afraid I'll have to move you just a couple of feet because, you see, you're blocking camera number 2. But only take just a couple of feet. You'll be able to see him, boy, just as real. Right about here. This should be good for you.
All
right?
Yes.
Okay? Make yourself comfortable there.
Oh, dear.
Now, as I was saying, Tony Martin...
Now she's blocking camera number 4.
Oh, thanks, Harry. Miss Lauren, dear, one more small move. It won't be far, really. I have your best interest at heart. Just move you right about... Oh, you got a good seat here. You got a good seat. Sit right down over here.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Yes, well, of course.
Right?
Well, I want to see him while he's still young, you know.
He'll be out in just a moment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Martin is the kind of showman who is so... yes.
I'm afraid Miss Lorne is right in the path of the boom mic.
The boom mic in the way? Thank you, Locke. Miss Lauren, dear, you're just in the way of the boom, but only move. It's the last move.
What do you mean, boom? I've never heard of boom before.
It's a term, boom. Boom mic, not microphone.
Boom.
Yeah, boom.
Oh, well, boom, then.
Now, if you'll sit right there. You all right? Can you see him from there?
Now, just a minute, please. I want to know. Oh, yes. Well, bring him on.
All right. Now we can get on with this. Ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, Tony Martin is a name that has been in lights on movie marquees all over the country. There is no major nightclub that has not been proud to present Tony Martin. Yet, strange to say, this is the first time that we have had a chance to get hold... excuse me. Miss Lauren, dear, what's the matter?
Well, I'm going to get a good seat.
Where are you going?
To the bar next door.
Now, at long last, I can say the two words that add up to fabulous entertainment. Tony Martin.
Maybe I'm right and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm weak and maybe I'm strong. Nevertheless, I'm in love with you. Maybe I'll win and maybe I'll lose. Maybe I'm in for singing the blues. Nevertheless, I'm in love with you. Somehow I know at a glance the terrible chances I'm taking. Left with a heart that is brave. Maybe I'll live a life of regrets. Maybe I'll give much more than I get. Nevertheless, I'm in love with you. In the springtime, I love Paris in the fall. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment. Fascination, I know, and it might have ended right there at the start. Just a passing glance, just a brief romance, and I might have gone on my way, empty-hearted. It was fascination, I know, seeing you alone with the moonlight above. Then I touched your hand, and next moment I kissed you. Fascination turned to I touched your hand, and next moment I kissed you. Fascination turned, fascination turned, fascination turned.
Carol?
Huh?
Would you like to be introduced to Tony Martin?
Whatever gave you that idea?
I'm certainly pleased to meet you, you know.
You are?
Yes, I'm probably your #1 fan in Southern California.
Oh, really?
Hey, yeah.
Well, then I can tell you that I love all your movies. And you know the part I really like the best?
Yes, what's that?
Don't make fun. Is when you take the really terribly attractive girl in your arms, you know?
Oh, yes.
And then,
It's been so long.
and then you sing to her and she sings to you.
Oh, I remember. Our picture.
It was fascination, I know. You alone with the moonlight above.
La 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 la. Fascination time.
Tony, that was marvelous. We will see you later in the show, won't we?
What'd you say?
I'll see you later, Tony. Tony Martin.
Yeah.
Ah, do you know what's better than one for the money? These two for the shoe. Johnson's self-shining shoe polish and Johnson's scuffed shoe polish. Watch.
We take you now to the royal suite of the Beekman Towers Hotel in mid-Manhattan, where famed newscaster Alan Munson is preparing to record a special interview.
Right. Mr. Munson, they're ready back at the studio to tape your introduction, whenever you're ready.
Well, I'm ready whenever you are. Can we start now?
Right.
All right. You give me the cue. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alan Munson continuing this stirring salute to one of the greatest men of the century, Dr. Henry Spencer. So far this evening, you have heard glowing words about Dr. Spencer from Albert Schweitzer, President Kennedy, and Prime Minister Nehru of India. The greats of the world are all here on videotape to pay homage to this man. And now we shall hear from another honored guest, Her Royal Highness, Princess Marianne of Moravia. Princess Marianne, who is visiting our country on behalf of her government, will offer a toast to Dr. Spencer for continued health and success on this, his 65th birthday.
Okay, cut.
Cut.
Fine, Mr. Munson.
Thank you.
They'd like to tape their princess's toast right now.
Are they ready? All right. We're ready for Her Grace.
Your Highness.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I do hope this won't take too long because, as you know, I am to address the House of Representatives at 4.
Yes, it shouldn't take long at all. We'll get right to it.
I, of course, am overjoyed to participate in honoring such a great man as Dr. Henry Spencer. What is it you wish me to do?
Well, it's quite simple, Your Highness. It is a toast.
Yes.
Now, if you'll step over here with me, I'll explain how we'll do it. Now, when we first start to photograph you, you are seated. In your hand, you have a glass of wine. You pick up the glass of wine, you hold it out, you say to Dr. Henry Spencer, long may he live. You sip the wine, you sit, and then we fade out.
I understand completely. May we please begin now because I must address the House of Representatives at 4, you know.
Certainly, Your Highness, we can go right ahead. Yes, you'll be seated. Are you ready, Dave?
Ready. Cue.
And now, a toast from Princess Marianne of Morovia.
To Dr. Henry Spencer, long may he live.
Cut. Fine. That was, thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Mr. Munson, excuse me. They say the princess had her hands in front of her face. Could we possibly take it again?
Between the camera and her
Yes.
face? Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Your Grace. Would you mind doing it just once more?
If we must, we must.
Well, I'm afraid it must be done, Your Highness. There you go. We'll do it as fast as possible. Ready, Dave?
We're rolling.
And now a toast from Princess Marianne of Morovia.
To Dr. Henry Spencer, long may he live.
Your Highness, I'm afraid we're going to have to do it once more because we don't want that hiccup to go out over the air now, do we?
Oh, well, do you really think it's necessary?
I'm afraid so. We can't cut it. We can't cut it out of the tape. Dave, we'll do it as fast as we can. Dave, right?
Go ahead, sir. First and rolling.
Here we go. And now, a toast.
Aren't you going to fill up the glass? The wine.
Oh, the wine. Oh, it's terribly stupid of me. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I'm addressing the House of Representatives at 4, you know.
Yes, I know. All right. Now, here we go. Now, a toast from Princess Marianne of Morovia.
To Dr. Henry Spencer. Long may he live.
Your Grace, you haven't got it quite right. You see, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to say the toast, and then you drink.
How about that?
Maybe try it just once more. Here we go. Ready?
Ready. Dr. Henry Spencer, long may he live.
No, that really isn't...
Which camera do I look into?
Which camera?
Yeah.
Oh, Your Highness, there's only one camera.
There is? Well, ain't that a kick in the hand?
Well, here we go again.
Yeah, I'm addressing the House of Representatives at 4, you know.
Yes, I know. And now a toast from Princess Marianne of Morovia.
Dr. Henry Spencer, a really swell kid.
I'm afraid that isn't quite it.
Oh, good. Let's try it again. Because I'm representing the House of Addresses at 4, you know.
Yes, I know. All right, we'll try to get right to it this time. And now,
you forgot the glass again.
The what?
Glass, the red jazz in the glass. You forgot.
Oh, the red jazz.
I hope you have some more of this stuff inside, sweetheart.
All right.
Cute.
Now, we'll try it once more. Are you ready, sweetheart? Dave? Here you go. All right. Now a toast from Princess Marianne of Moravia.
Here's to old Doc Hank Spencer. A regular pussycat. You won't move the couch.
Oh.
Yes, you did.
No, I'm afraid you're not getting it, Princess.
I think I'm getting it pretty good.
Well, you think we can try it just one more time?
You just keep pouring, Marvin, and I'll keep trying. Good grief, you're gorgeous. You're just...
No, we'll be back.
What are you doing after the show?
We'll discuss that later. Your Highness...
You're all smoking no fire.
Your Highness. Your Highness. Will. And now, a toast from Princess Marianne of Moravia.
It's 2:45. There's no one in the place except you and me.
Yeah, Your Highness. Your Highness, please.
Don't set 'em up, Joe.
Your Highness.
I got a little story you ought to know.
Could this thing...
Watch it.
Can we get back to the toast?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, but please hurry because I'm housing the representatives of court. Every last one of them.
Are you quite ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime you're ready, Davy Gravy Boy, because at 4 o'clock I'm undressing at the house.
Your Highness, we're running out of time.
As long as we don't run out of kickapoo juice, sweetheart.
Please, will you remember... Your Highness, will you remember your dignity? These cameras are showing you to an entire civilized world. Here, just one... Let's make this one good. Now a toast from Princess Marianne of Moravia.
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 To Dr. Henry Spencer. Long may he live.
Oh, boy. She's a nut. Nut. Well, now I'm going to show you how to unlock a whole new world of fun and excitement. Now, what did I do with that? Oh, yeah, there it is.
Here is the key, a car key that you see. There's something extra about owning this key. This key is new. It's the key to put you in a budget-sized sports car for $62. This is the name, Cutlass the name. Dashing F85 of Oldsmobile fame. This line defines the sports coupe design, and look what's been added to the Cutlass line. A convertible, too. Sharp, sassy, and new. A Cutlass convertible for $62. Now, this is the seat of a Cutlass, complete with comfort built in. A smart bucket seat. And this is the action. The big attraction, high-compression V8 for real sports car action. Yes, there's no doubt that something extra is in the F85 Cutlass. It's Oldsmobile performance. The zesty, zinging kind of go that you get only from a full 8 cylinders of power. And there's 185 scootin' scurrying horsepower of it in the Cutlass for 62. It's an aluminum V8. That's what makes the going so great. And Oldsmobile's new 4S Hydromatic is what makes it so smooth and responsive. It only takes one experience behind the wheel of a Cutlass to prove it.
There's something extra about owning an Olds. Turn the key of a Cutlass and see.
And, of course, you know that your F85 Cutlass key is waiting for you at your Oldsmobile quality dealers. Why don't you pick it up and take it for a spin, maybe first thing tomorrow morning. You know, it's impossible to know how different this one is until you try it. Oldsmobile's Cutlass, one of a full line of exciting F85s for 1962. Let's hear that one more time.
There's something extra about owning an Olds. Turn the key of a Cutlass and see. Wonderful year, we hope you'll see the past reappear like a memory. We'll show you the way it used to be. Remember.
That wonderful year, Jack Dempsey knocked out Georges Carpentier, or as we here in America call him, George Carpentier, to become the national hero. And Sinclair Lewis's first great novel, Main Street, topped the bestseller lists. It was the year of the first Miss America contest, Ouija boards, and the shimmy. And it was also the year that President Woodrow Wilson turned the key to the White House over to his successor, Warren G. Harding. Believe it or not, in Palm Beach, Florida, one bit of ballyhoo was a springboard wedding. It was that year of wonderful nonsense, 1921. 1921 was a turning point for mankind. A mild-mannered, soft-spoken genius named Albert Einstein figured out that E equaled MC squared, and the world has never been the same since. That year, the most brilliant scientists, men and women alike, followed in Dr. Einstein's footsteps, working night and day, developing the complicated theory that he called relativity. Well, Dr. Cornhouse.
Oh, yes, yes.
Doctor, I suppose you have heard the news. Because of relativity, Professor Einstein has split the atom.
Oh, I think that's too bad.
Well, now, Dr. Cornhouse, you're one of the greatest minds in science. Could you explain the theory of relativity to us?
Relativity?
Yes.
Oh, well, yes. You see, everything is relative. That is, if you're short, well, then it's only because I'm tall. And if it wasn't that I'm tall, then you wouldn't be short. And if I was short, you'd be tall. Well, of course, well, it doesn't matter unless you're dancing, of course.
1921, and on Broadway that year, theatergoers greeted a new musical comedy starring Al Jolson. The show was called Bombo, and on opening night, the audience and critics enthusiastically applauded a show-stopping number, a song that has remained a timeless favorite ever since. And here's Tony Martin to sing it for us.
Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain. You know it's raining violets. And when you see clouds upon the hills, you soon will see clouds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird, listen for his song whenever April showers come. And
number one pastime continued to make news in 1921, Judge Landis was appointed czar of baseball, and the World Series was broadcast for the first time. The game had stars galore: Ty Cobb, young Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, and dozens of rookies on the way up. So, batter up! All right, let's get going, huh?
Time.
Time? What do you want?
You mind if I go wash my hands?
Come on, will you hold up the game?
I'm sorry.
All right, let's go.
Mind if I ask you a question?
Now what?
Am I a lefty or a righty?
You're stupid.
I know, but am I a lefty or a righty?
You're a righty. Now get up. You're holding up the game.
Strike two. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Are you blind or something? That ball was high and on the outside.
Will you play ball?
Okay, come on. Let's have it right in here now. Look at that. Look at that ball go. Look at that ball. What a ball. You missed.
Back in 1921, if you were in the mood for music, there was always the player piano in the parlor, or you could crank up the old Victrola, put in a new needle, and listen to your favorite records. I'm sure these songs were among your favorites.
Said with music, beautiful music, helps Mr. Cupid along. So say it with a beautiful song.
Every morning, every evening, ain't we got fun? Conference money, Alma honey, ain't we got fun?
There's a change in the weather, a change in the sea. From now on, there'll be a change in me, 'cause nobody wants you when you're old and gray. There'll be some changes made today. There'll be some changes made.
Just wild about Harry, and Harry is wild about me. The heavenly blisses of his kisses fill me with ecstasy.
Oh, my man, I love him so. He's my life is just despair, but I don't care. When he takes me in his arms, the world is right, all right. It's 3:00 in the morning, with that song, and daylight soon will be dawning. Just walk my walks with you. That melody so entrancing seems to be made for us two. I could just keep right on dancing forever, dear, with you.
In 1921, a new movie hero was born. The Sheik, as played by Hollywood's new glamour boy, Rudolph Valentino. It was this picture that set the style for so many carbon copies to follow. If you wanted to make a movie, all you needed was some sand, a camel, a tent, and of course a heroine and a hero. As for the plot, well, it was always the same. You just made up a new title. We call the little gem you're about to see Flaming Sands.
leaning on my shoulder. Oh, he's kissing me.
On my way across the desert today, there in the midst of the parched and burning sands was a pool of water. Turned out to be the Atlantic Ocean. Come in, Atlantic Ocean, come in.
Find folks with a knack of having fun, and chances are you'll find Winston. These folks enjoy smoking Winston because of Winston's famous flavor. And Winston's flavor is a natural result of choice golden tobaccos, specially selected and specially processed for filter smoking. Yes, filter blend is the secret of Winston's smooth, mellow flavor. You know, it's what's up front that counts in a filter cigarette. And filter blend, up ahead of Winston's pure white modern filter, is why Winston delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Get Winston. Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
And that does it for tonight. I want to thank all of my friends. Tony Martin, thank you so much. Garry, thanks. Marvelous performance. Frankie Fontaine. Burnett. all together.
We just say hello and right away. We have to say so long for a while. Before we go, we'd like to say we hope you had a laugh or a smile. We hope to see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. But just for now, we'll say goodbye.
Before leaving, speaking for our good friend Durward Kirby, he asked me to thank you all for your many condolences. All is well. He'll be back next week. Thank you, and goodbye out there.
The Garry Moore Show has been brought to you by Oldsmobile. In behalf of Oldsmobile's quality dealers everywhere, who now more than ever have a rocket for every pocket. Jewelry from Marbella. Hairstyles by Ernest Adler. The preceding program was pre-recorded. This is John Cannon speaking.
This is Alvin. For all the fun, music, and comedy of a Broadway show, see my show, The Alvin Show, tomorrow on most of these CBS television stations.